What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the World of Juice channel. Welcome back to episode number 6 of the Bust to Ballers Madden 21 rebuild here on the channel. We are in the off season, the 2010 off season. We didn't have the greatest experience our first go-round in the playoffs last episode. If you did miss it, make sure you go back and watch it. I know I say that about a lot of my videos, which you should probably go back and watch all those videos. But this one in particular, if you did miss it, make sure you do go back and watch at least the ending, because it's one for the record books. It is one for the end-all, be-all of the channel. It is the emphasis of this channel. So make sure you go back and watch at least the ending, if not the whole episode, because you don't want to miss what happens in the end of that episode. So make sure you go back and watch that. Hit the like button on this video and every video. Hit the subscribe button on the channel. Join the Juice Club. Let's get into the off season. See if we can make this team better. All right, here we are in the off season. For those of you who don't really care about going back and watching the other video, I will tell you what happens. We lose to the eventual Super Bowl champions, New Orleans Saints, in the divisional round of the playoffs on some pretty bogus calls, if I do say so myself. I mean, the fumble call was outrageous. It probably was not a fumble, or we never should have been in that situation to fumble, because I hit the slide button, but it didn't register. So it is what it is. We move on. I'm clearly not bitter. Let's check out the retirements for the second season. Anybody big retiring from the league? Brett Favre retires at 21 years. Brian Dawkins, Plaxico Burress was on our team. I didn't choose to extend him because I was going to just let him go, but it looks like he retires anyway. So Plaxico is gone. Mike Vrabel is gone as well. Javon Curse, Alan Faneka, Ricky Williams, Willie Anderson, Takeo Spike, Zach Thomas, Casey Hampton, Derek Mason, Aaron Brooks, Charles Woodson on the Cowboys retires. Anybody else? Edgerrin James? Anybody big left down here in the bottom? Not really any big names. Adam Archuleta, I guess. Desmond Clark, Lamont Jordan. No, but Deuce McAllister. And then a couple head coaches. 3 head coaches. Bruce Arians, Mike McCarthy, and Andy Reid all retire from the league as coaches. So not as big of a retirement pool as it was the first season. But that's to what you would expect, because a lot of the big name guys are a little bit younger now. So we've already looked at season recap. We already looked at retirements. We looked at the stats for the season. We looked at the awards. We just got the re-signing to do. I've re-signed a few guys. We have a chance to franchise tag one of these guys, and I think the person that we franchise tag is gonna be Ahmad Brooks. Yeah, let's franchise tag Ahmad Brooks. Bring him back. I do want to give Devon Bess a contract. I feel like Devon Bess could be useful for us. So what was his? He likes the bonus and the duration, just not the salary. So let's bump this up to 3.5. That's a good offer. I'm glad we got the deal done. So Devon Bess comes back. I don't think we bring back Jason Babin or Jacob Bell. So I'm going to see if I can get anything for those guys before we head to free agency, before I lose them under contract. Jacob Bell's a left guard. So we're definitely going to need to get a left guard in free agency or the draft or something. Or we just bring back Jacob Bell because nobody wants him, apparently. What about Jason Babin? Does anybody want Jason Babin? He must be a right end. There he is. Jason Babin, does anybody want you? You're not super old. You're still pretty useful. All right, nobody wants Jason Babin either. So I think we bring back Jacob Bell if he's not too expensive. 3.68, that's not crazy. I'll ask for a 2-year deal, 2.5, and we'll bump his bonus up to about 155. He would like to play for a new team next year. All right, screw you, Jacob Bell. I didn't want you anyway, so we're not going to bring back Jason Babin. Nobody wants him anyway, so let's just go to free agency and see if there is anybody in free agency that we can bid on. We got $50 million. Can't get anybody in the top because that's not how this series works. We could get a guy like Josh McCown to be our third string, but I think we're good with third string guys. Jamarcus Russell, I kind of want to stay away from guys that we've had in previous series. We've had Jamarcus in the Browns series. He won a couple Super Bowls for us. So I think we'll stay away from him. But we haven't had Trent Edwards yet. You know what? Trent Edwards can be our third string. No, I don't want him on that big of a deal. Let's bring him down a peg. 2 years, $6 million. That's not crazy for a third string quarterback. Running backs. I think we're good on running backs. I don't think we need anybody at running back. At wide receiver, Hines Ward. No, I think we're good with wide receivers too. There's nobody here that really fits what we're looking for. Tight end, I could use another tight end, but then again, there's nobody here that fits what we're trying to do and is a higher overall. I guess Daniel Graham would be better, but he is 33. Maybe we bring Daniel Graham in for like a year. I'll offer him a 1-year deal, about $1 million, and then we'll bring the signing bonus up, so maybe he'll sign $3 million for Daniel Graham. He can be our second string tight end. Left tackle, we do need to get a backup. So is there somebody here that fits what we're trying to do and is a decent overall? Max Starks. Did Max Starks do anything in the league? I don't think he did. So we'll offer him a contract. We'll bump all these numbers down a bit. $8 million over 2 years is good for a backup left tackle. Backup left guard, there's Jacob Bell. I might as well just bring Jacob Bell back. But we can get him cheaper because he's not looking for, or he doesn't have any offers, and nobody's going to really offer him anything. So we can get him back on a cheap deal. Center, we probably need a backup center because Tennant is not going to be that great this so far. He's only a 55 overall. That was one of our draft picks last season. And this Jake Grove guy is a 70. So that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to bring him in. Right guard we're fine with. Right tackle we're fine with. Moving on to the defense. We do need a defensive end. We need a defensive end, but who's here that we could take? Quentin Groves. He's got 2 bids. I don't want to try and outbid those guys. I don't really have that much money to work with right now. Willie Young's got some offers. That would have been nice. I wish he didn't have any offers. Vincent Burns. You guys remember when, I think it was the Dolphins series, Vincent Burns was like, it glitched and his age was 8 years old. And then it went to 9 years old the next season. Oh, that was funny. Let's see. Moving on to the right ends. What do we have at the right end? Maybe we could move somebody from right end to left end. Randy Starks. Why don't we just bring in all the Starks? Let's just bring in everybody named Stark and pay him $5 million over 2 years. Michael Bennett did something in the league. I wouldn't consider him a bust, so he doesn't fit the system. We could bring back Jason Babin. He's not going to get any offers. But instead, we try and go for Jason Hatcher because he doesn't have any offers either, and he's about the same as Jason Babin. So, and he's younger, so that helps too. So we'll move one of those guys to left end. It won't matter that much. Defensive tackle, I just passed right over that. Defensive tackle, we don't need really a defensive tackle. I guess we could get like a third string or something. Because I like Al Woods. He's growing pretty good for his second season. Brandon Mebane, he does Brandon Mebane count? Would Brandon Mebane count? Because did he do a lot in the league? You know what? I'm going to throw a bid in on Brandon Mebane. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to spend a crazy amount of money on Brandon Mebane. If he doesn't come here, that's fine. If he decides not to sign, because I'm not 100% sure if he fits the qualifications. So I'll offer him $6 million over 2 years. If he doesn't like that, that's completely okay. But if he does, then fine. I just don't. I'm not 100% sure if he fits the system or not, but I like to have him if he does fit the system. There's nobody here at middle linebacker that I would really take. Joey Porter. Anybody else? No. I like Keith Rivers and I like Vincent Ray as the backup there. At corner, I wish I could get a guy like Champ Bailey, but he doesn't fit the system. It doesn't fit what we're trying to do. Nobody at corner. Anybody at free safety? Ryan Clark. I wouldn't count Ryan Clark as a bust, so he doesn't come here. I mean, he did win a Super Bowl, so. Nobody at free safety, and probably nobody at strong safety either. Hussein Abdullah. He's not better overall than Craig Stelz, so it'd be pointless to bring him in and to spend money on him. Kicker, could we get a better kicker than 66 overall? Is there anybody here? Shane Graham, does he count? I don't. Kicker it's hard because you either have to be. I don't know. Kicker's hard to figure out who didn't really pan out in the league. I guess like a guy like Dan Carpenter. He was never the best kicker in the league. He was never even top 5 kicker in the league, I don't think. He's only 25. You know what? I'll bring in Dan Carpenter just because I know Dan Carpenter. I don't really know Connor Barth that much. I mean, that shouldn't really have anything to do with it. But to me, I'd rather have somebody that I know. So we'll offer him $2 million. That's not anything crazy. We do need to bring in a punter, though. Can't bring in Pat McAfee because he was a thing in the league. Kevin Huber. Can't bring in Thomas Morstead. He's a fantastic punter. Can't even bring in Britton Colquitt. Can't do that. How about a guy of the quality of maybe Brian Moorman? Yes. Never heard of this guy in my entire life, but he is lucky because he is going to be on the Rams squad for $3 million. Yes. So our negotiations are Brian Moorman, Brandon Mebane, Jacob Bell, Dan Carpenter, Randy Starks, Max Starks, Jason Hatcher, Trent Edwards, Jake Groove, and Daniel Graham. Those are our options, our negotiations. Let's see if they all sign. The only one that I don't think will sign is Brandon Mebane. All right, here we are. We've got Daniel Graham. He accepts. He's our backup tight end now. Jacob Bell comes back to be our starting left guard. Jason Hatcher accepts. And Trent Edwards accepts to be our third-string quarterback. So now with $27 million in the bank, we still have Moorman. Brandon Mebane's not coming here. Carpenter still could. Randy Stark still could. And all these guys still could accept. So we will go to the next week and see if those guys accept. We got Randy Starks. That's good. Dan Carpenter's our new kicker. And Max Starks is our new backup left tackle. So who are the guys that didn't accept right now? Brian Moorman and Jake Groove. We're not going to get Jake Groove. So Moorman still has an option to accept. Is there another center here that we could possibly get? Justin Hartwig. He's better than what we got. But you know what? I'll keep Tennant as our backup. I'll keep Tennant as our backup center. We don't need another center. So now we will go to the NFL draft. All right, so we've got free agency recap. Tony Gonzalez goes to the Raiders. Champ Bailey to the Saints. Sean Rogers, Eagles. Joey Porter, Titans. Ahmad Bradshaw, Cardinals. Great. Alinda Mare, football team. Nate Clements, Texans. Donovan McNabb is the Browns now. Ray McDonald, Patriots. Ben Grubbs, Cardinals. Antoine Whitfield, Browns. Who else is down here? Michael Bush, Cardinals. Beanie Wells, Giants. Larry Foote, Cardinals. Anybody else? Brandon Mebane decided to sign with the Raiders. Kevin Cobb with the Jets. Doug Freed, the football team. Brandon Lloyd, the Jaguars. David Pittman, Lions. Steve Breston, Dolphins. Sonoris Moss, Saints. Some big names going places. Shifting the power. Michael Bennett with the Broncos. Mohamed Mesquat, Jaguars. All right, so now it's time for the NFL draft. But before we go to the NFL draft, I want to see if I can get some extra draft picks. So I'm going to go work my magic, see if I can get some extra draft picks before we start the draft. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I only managed to trade Charles Godfrey for a 6th round pick. That's the best pick that I could get. So we have one extra 6th round pick. That's all I was able to trade. Going into this draft, we have the 27th pick in the first 3 rounds. So looking at our team, we need a lot. Let's take a quick look at the actual lineup and see who we should take. So we're fine with quarterbacks in the first round. We don't need them because we have Sanchez and Vince Young. Running backs, Reggie Bush is starting to drop. He's dropped to a superstar instead of a superstar X Factor. We also got Darren McFadden down there. Wide receivers, Ted Ginn and Dwayne Bowe, along with Devin Hester. At offensive line, we could do with maybe an offensive lineman at some point in this draft. A tight end probably would be nice to have. On defense, we could do with another linebacker. I'm going to start Major Wright. That's why I traded Charles Godfrey. I'm going to start Major Wright to get his development started. So he's going to be our free safety. We're probably going to need to get a backup free safety for him. I don't know. Let's take a look at the draft board real quick before we simulate a couple of these picks. So I did scout Nick Fairley because I realized while I was simulating that Nick Fairley was kind of a bust in the league. He did pretty good for a couple seasons, but other than that, he didn't really do much in the league, and he's out of the league now. So I figured Nick Fairley would fall into this category, and he may be there when we get to 27, so that might be an option for us. If he's not there, then we probably take Phil Taylor. Phil Taylor's definitely an option, that's for sure. Other than that, corners we can probably wait on. There's a lot of good corners in here that we can pull later in the draft, so we can wait on those. Strong safeties and free safeties we can probably wait at least till the second round to maybe get like a Raheem Moore or a Jaquan Jarrett. Strong safety we can definitely wait. And then the only other positions of need would be tight end. Jordan Cameron's projected 4th round, so we could probably get him with maybe a 3rd round pick or something if he's still there. As for offensive linemen, there's some decent left tackles later. Left guards are later. Centers are later, kind of. Brandon Fusco is about the best one that we scouted that's later. Right guards are later, especially like a guy like Justin Bourne or maybe an Andrew Jackson type. Right tackles are definitely later in the draft. Ends, Carl Klug would be our best option late in the draft unless we go and we pull the plug on Brooks Reed. Right end, we might have to use an early pick on to get either like an Alan Bailey or a Daquan Bowers type. But yeah, I'm thinking that with our 1st round pick, we take a guy in the defensive tackle range, either Phil Taylor or Nick Fairley or Corey Luguette. I don't know how to say his name, I'm sorry. But let's skip to see who the first pick is. It is Marcel Darius is the number 1 overall pick this year. Usually it's Von Miller. The Colts take Von Miller. Who goes 3? Pat Pete goes 3. Cam Newton 4 to the Dolphins. Julio goes to the football team. Sorry, Julio. Oh, the Falcons were 1 pick away from Julio. That's a little depressing for them. Alden Smith goes top 10, I should say. Tyrone Smith. J.J. Watt goes to Cleveland. A.J. Green. Ryan Kerrigan. Mike Pouncey. Robert Quinn. Corey Leggett. So there goes one of our options at D-tackle. So now it's getting into the worrisome part where Nick Fairley and Phil Taylor are both the next 2 up on the board. So hopefully both of them don't get taken. If one of them gets taken, it's fine. Nate Solder, Phil Taylor. So Nick Fairley's still there. I don't know if Nick Fairley's going to be there, to be honest with you. We may have to trade up to get Nick Fairley. I don't think he's going to be there. I mean, there are some options like Jarvis Jenkins or Stephen Fea. I mean, those guys are there. But if we want a guy like Nick Fairley, I don't think he's going to be there at 27. This may be our first trade up of the series for a guy like Nick Fairley, which is weird. But, man, I was really set on Phil Taylor. I didn't think he'd go 1st round like that, or at least early 1st round. Oh, what do we do? Do we skip next pick? I'm kind of worried if we skip next pick. Could I trade up with the Patriots to get this pick? They already have Vince Wilfork, so they might not need him. You know what? That's big. They might not need him. So let's go to the Texans. Who do they have at defensive tackle? Would they need to draft Nick Fairley? Yes, they probably would take Nick Fairley. So we bank on getting this pick from the Texans because I'm banking the Patriots don't take him. So we use our 27th pick. Would this just work straight up? No, we're going to need to give them a little bit more value. What do they need? They like middle linebackers. We have Ahmad Brooks. I franchise tagged him. Does that sweeten the pot? Not really. Center and left guard. We don't really have center or left guard that I'd be willing to give up. Right guard, Elton Brown. Would that sweeten the pot enough? This is really going to hurt if we trade up for this pick and then the Patriots take him. What about George Foster? And then I'll throw in another pick. I'll throw in... I have a lot of 6th round picks. I'll throw in a 6th round pick. I don't think we're going to be able to trade up. I think we just let Nick Fairley go. At least these couple picks. We skip ahead a couple of picks. The Patriots took Nick Fairley. Of course the Patriots took Nick Fairley. They didn't need him. They had Vince Wilfork, bro. I should have known. I should have known that the Patriots are going to take him. All right, well, now we can skip to our pick. Now we don't really care about what happens. So we can move on from the defensive. I can't believe all those defensive tackles went before our pick. That's absolutely insane. And kind of upsetting and frustrating, too. So let's just scroll around here, look and see what we've got. We've got a guy like Orlando Franklin. He could be an option for us at left tackle. Do we have any guys scouted left in the projected first round? Or is it all second round guys? It looks like it's all second rounders, yeah. So all we have left is second round guys projected. Okay. Do we pull the trigger on a guy like Marcus Gilchrist? He's got late first round talent. 5'10", 195. He's man-to-man. He ran a 4.440. Do we go with a guy like Ross-I Dowling? He doesn't have the same kind of stats that Gilchrist has. But then again, there's a guy like Sharice Wright who's quicker than Gilchrist. 24, 5'11", 185. So he's a little bit taller. Still has first round talent on him. I don't know. Maybe I don't think we go with a corner this early, especially not first round. So, and now I don't think we go with a tackle because he's taken. Maybe this is our chance to get a guy like Daquan Bowers. He's got A- hit power, but he's got C+ power moves, play rec. He's not really top 10 in anything in the combine. Alan Bailey is 4.640, 32 vertical out of Miami. I bet we could get him in the second round. I say that, but we have the 27th pick in the second round, so probably not. He's got A- run block. I think we go for that left tackle. I think Orlando Franklin is our best option here. He's got A- pass blocking. He's 23. I'm going to go with Orlando Franklin. He's 69 overall. Nice. He'll be pretty good for us. He'll develop. So we'll go with Orlando Franklin there, and then we'll skip to our next pick. Hopefully, Alan Bailey or Daquan Bowers are still there, either one. So Daquan Bowers goes literally the pick before us, which seems to be a trend that guys that we want go before our pick. Let's go see if he is still there. Alan Bailey is still there. A lot of the defensive tackles went in the second round, which is upsetting. What about the corners? How's the corner situation looking like? So all the good corners went. Okay. Sharice Wright is still there, and I looked at him. He looked pretty good. What about Chimdi Chikwa? Not really great at anything. Not really great at anything. Buster Screen. not great at anything either. He might be a later pick if we do end up taking a corner. I don't want to take a guy like Denoris Cersei because he was pretty decent in the league. I just scouted him because I had no more scouting points, and I didn't want to scout anybody else. Colin Jones, he's pretty good in the combine. He might be a good pick for us, but he's a 6th round talent, so we can't really go for him. I think we take Alan Bailey here to come off the edge. Let's take Alan Bailey. He's 68. Okay, so we're getting some higher end players for what we're looking for here. You guys got to remember that this is what we're supposed to. We're not supposed to draft very good players because that's not the whole point of the series. All right, we're up here with the 3rd round pick. We've got a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th, and then 3 6th. So we've got some potential here later in the draft. Let's take a look around the board, see what's left. T.J. Yates, Tyrod Taylor, Greg McElroy, and Terrell Pryor. A lot of running backs still left, so that's good. We could snag a running back. Wide receivers. I'm looking at a guy like Cecil Shorts. He ran a 4.4 40. He could be good for us, or a guy like Niles Paul could also be pretty decent for us. There's some options here. And Ricardo Lockett, he definitely could be an option. So there's some wide receivers left. Tight ends, Jordan Cameron might have to be the option here. Yeah, he looks pretty good through everything. I know his talent is undrafted. I know, I understand, but let me quickly take a look around the rest of the board, see if there's anything else that piques my interest. Good, Brian Roll's still here. I'm probably going to take a guy like Brian Roll. The corner situation we're probably going to have to get early, address coming up pretty soon. But I want to take Jordan Cameron because I think he'll be gone. So let's take Jordan Cameron. He's a 58 with hidden, so at least that hidden potential will help him grow. So now let's skip to our next pick in the 4th round. All right, we're here in the 4th round, and let's take a look at this. We've got corners. All the corners were taken in the 4th round. Wow, I did not know it would be a run on corners. So that is changing everything. It was for sure a run on corners. I did not see that coming. What about wide receivers? All the wide receivers are still here. Cecil Shorts is still here. Yeah, all the good wide receivers we're looking at are still there. Wow, running backs went too. A lot of good running backs were taken. Quarterbacks not taken, so this is interesting. I didn't realize how valuable the corner position would be valued. So we've got Cortez Allen, Sterling Moore, and Devon Torrance. He's got F awareness. We can't take Devon Torrance. Sorry, Torrance. I know you're a Buckeye and everything, but we can't physically take you with F awareness. You'll be nothing. Okay, so we'll probably take Cortez Allen. He's probably the option. And then we'll go and take a wide receiver next round. So let's take Cortez Allen with this pick. He is 67. Okay, I can work with that. That's good. Let's skip to our next pick and take a wide receiver. All right, here we are in the wide receiver pool. And all the wide receivers are still here. Perfect. Actually, one of them is gone. Who's the one I was looking at that's gone? I don't remember who that is. But Ricardo Lockett is still here, and Cecil Shorts is still here. So it's a matter of what I want to do. Do we take Cecil Shorts? Do we like what he's looking? He's got some C+ medium route running, C+ catch and traffic, C+ release. Ricardo Lockett's got C deep route, C release, C- catching. They're both 23. He ran a 4.3 40. What did Cecil run? A 4.49. So Ricardo looks quicker. Let's take Ricardo. Let's take Ricardo Lockett. He's got hidden potential as well. That's key. So 2 of our skill position guys have hidden potential. That's very big. All right, we are back up here, and now we're in the 6th round where we have 3 picks. So we can do a lot of damage with these 3 picks. We got to get a free safety to back up my guy, whatever his name is. I forget his name. Major Wright, that's what it is. I don't know why I forgot his name for a second. Everybody else it's really just up to wide receiver, getting another wide receiver, which is probably going to be Cecil Shorts, and getting a backup free safety. So I'm looking at Will Hill for backup free safety. He's got B+ hit power, so I think we can work with that. 57 overall. Maybe we can't work with that. I don't know. We'll develop and see what happens here.
The Rams are now on the clock.
Now we've got our next pick in the 6th round, the 13th overall pick in the 6th round. I think this is where we take Cecil Shorts. I really like the guy. I think he's going to be good for us. So let's take Cecil, have him as another wide receiver option. He's 60 overall. All right, we can work with that as well. Skip to the next pick.
The Rams are now on
Our
the
final pick in the 6th round. We need to get... I want to get Brian Roll. Is Brian Roll still available? Brian Roll got taken. I probably should have taken him instead of Cecil. That's all right. That is all right. We can get a guy like Chris Neald. Take him. He's 62. Okay, so I think we have 2 more picks left in the 7th round, so we'll skip to those. All right, so here we are in the 7th round. I forgot, or I was wrong. We only have 1 pick in the 7th round. So I think we use it on a running back, which is either going to be Evan Royster or Brandon Sane. There's not really anybody else here I would take. I mean, Andre Holmes, maybe. Maybe take a guy like Andre Holmes if it didn't... Why is it slow? Oh, I thought it was going to, like, crash on me or something. Let me just scroll through the guys that I have scouted, see if there's anybody that we could take... Not really. So it's either going to be... I guess we could take like a guy like Terrell Pryor. He's got A+ throw power. I don't know why it's being so slow when I'm trying to click on somebody. Come on. There we go. He ran a 4.40. He's got A+ throw power. You know what? Let's take Terrell Pryor. Let's take Terrell Pryor. He's got hidden potential. We can always turn him into a wide receiver like he did in real life. So let's take Terrell Pryor. All right, draft recap for this 2011 draft. We got to remember that we're doing the bust to ballers. So, of course, there's going to be some bad overalls in here. That's just the name of the game. But these guys hopefully will develop. I mean, Jordan Cameron, Ricardo Lockett, and Terrell Pryor all have hidden potential. So they have good shots at being very good on this team. Hopefully a guy like Alan Bailey will just grow naturally if he starts quick. Obviously, we wanted to take Nick Fairley or Phil Taylor, but they both got taken for some reason. So Orlando Franklin is our guy with the first round pick. I did take 2 wide receivers, but I feel like both of them could be impact players for us quickly. I think we did a good job. All things considered, I think we did a good job drafting here. All these guys could have potential for helping this team. The only thing I'm worried about is Will Hill because he's such a low overall. He could struggle for us, especially because Major Wright's only 69 overall. Cornerback situation's looking good. The right outside linebacker position, I wish I would have got Brian Roll, but that's all right. Defensive tackle's looking good. We got a lot of right ends, but I'm going to switch one of these guys. Either one of these guys. Let's try Randy Starks at... Oh, you know what? Let's try Alan Bailey at left end. We'll start Alan Bailey at left end, and then he'll start to grow if he plays well. So that'll be big. So let's change him to a left end. And then we'll start him there because he's obviously going to be a higher overall than the left end we have. He's still a 68 overall. So we'll start him at left end and see how he develops. Right tackle's fine. Right guard's fine. Center's good. Left guard's good. Left tackle is now good. We could possibly move him to another position. No, it doesn't look like we need a backup at higher position than what he is. So we'll just put him on the practice squad for right now. We'll give him a season on the practice squad. Tight ends, probably going to have to move on from Zach Miller to give Jordan Cameron the opportunity to play a little bit. But we'll do that in the preseason. Wide receivers, I got to get rid of all these guys. I'll do that in the preseason off camera. Ted Ginn, Dwayne Bowe, Devin Hester, Devon Bess, and probably Ricardo Allen. We probably move on from Antoine Randall L at this point. And then we give Ricardo the chance to start. or not start, but be on the rotation. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. He'd be 5, and then we'll put Cecil at 6. So I think that's what we do there. Running back is good with the 1-2 of Reggie and Darren McFadden. It will keep Antonio Pittman on the roster. And then quarterback, we can always later on in the series move Terrell Pryor to wide receiver if we need to, but he will go on the practice squad for right now because we've got Trent Edwards there. So, and I think Trent Edwards is only on a 1-year contract, maybe 2-year contract, I can't remember. So that's what I'm thinking about for all these positions. I think we're looking good to make the playoffs once again next season. But that's going to do it for this video. Make sure to smash that like button, notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.